Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about one of the best shows of the modern era. Something so good it could single-handedly topple kingdoms and overthrow regimes. It'll give you flashbacks like that one scene in Ratatouille. It can even make blind people cry because they've never seen something so beautiful. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Josh Reviews.
残酷な天使のように少年よ神話になれ
On January 30th, 2019, almost 3 years ago, history was made, with the first Josh Reviews globally launched around the world. Nobody expected this video to blow up in the way it did, but somehow everyone started watching it. When you went over to someone's house, this would be playing in the background on their TV.
I hate this channel.
Children would have dreams about the episode they just watched, and the adults would chat about it all night long with their friends.
Shovel Knight is great, but not perfect. I would give it an 8.6 until you play it.
It was a masterpiece. But there were still some rough edges, of course. For starters, the audio was only in one ear, which, according to WebMD, directly correlates to the amount of people who became deaf in the right ear. As well, the editing quality was subpar for a video with billions of views such as this one. All of these things made it seem like something that would have 92 views. But the saving grace was a collaboration with the newly founded Twitch streamer, XX701223XX. It's been years since the two split up, but I was able to snag an exclusive interview with one of the members. Famous Twitch streamer, XX701223XX. Wow, thank you for coming to the show.
You can just call me Chris.
Alright. So Chris,
Yeah.
what do you remember about working from Josh with Josh Reviews Shovel Knight?
I remember that his mic was a lot better.
Okay. How do you feel about the millions of people that came to your Twitch stream after the video first launched? Because you already had billions before, but how did you feel about the new millions?
You know, I thought it was pretty epic Poggers moment.
Is it true that he was amazing at making videos and absolutely great at everything, like people say?
I mean, that's one way to put it.
Alright, one final question before you can go. Did your racist tendency start after or before making the video? Many people thought that this franchise would disappear as quickly as it arrived. Nobody understood the scope of how this franchise would grow to be the biggest review channel in the world. After the Shovel Knight review was posted, people were blown off their feet by a video they never thought would do so. The next logical step, of course, was to make a second one. A little bit later, on February 18th, 2019, the single biggest review would be published, with it being Josh Reviews Unraveled. Just saying this name should give you flashbacks to when you and your parents watched it by the campfire on the dawn of the next morning. It was beautiful, bringing upon the famous line of EA, the company we all know as today, as the people who cram their non-finished $60 game with DLC to fix it. This one would feature a collaboration with HeroB7, someone so popular on Twitter that every time he tweets, thousands suffocate because they were squished by all the people trying to get to him because of how funny his tweets were. Trillions of views came roaring in, the floodgates burst open, YouTube servers shut down. All because of one video. Nobody could explain this phenomenon. There were soon dedicated talk shows that only spoke of the new reviewer. It was with that a 6-season series, reviewing the reviewer. Everyone thought they were mad, mainly because they blew the videos out of proportions with unrealistic numbers such as quadrillions of views and quintillions of children watched them. But nonetheless, the reviews were still popular, garnering a whopping 4.56 trillion views in its first 12 hours. They could only go up from here, everyone thought. What really happened will shock you. After the massive success that were the 2 Josh reviews, no review would ever exceed the first 2 videos that were posted. 3 more videos would come from this time period, all released within a month of each other. The quality of these was still up there, getting millions of views in total, but with the release of each subsequent video, the viewers' reactions slowly dwindled in energy. I couldn't understand this, so I had to consult an expert. Hello, my name is Hinkson Eltrap. I have a doctorate in Josh Reviewinium and an associate's in sociology. Now, me and my colleagues, we've been studying these graphs for years now when it comes to Josh reviews. I think we may be able to explain it. This graph specifically I'd like to talk about. If you look carefully, you can see that the drop first happened on Unraveled 2. Now normally this wouldn't mean anything, but if you look at the dates the videos were posted, you can see that it was released on February 15th. Now, if you would know, this means the creator's birthday was happening. So what I think happened, me and my colleagues, we believe that his birthday, mixed with Valentine's Day, created so many distractions from him with women and simping that he just couldn't put any more quality into his videos. We call this the dancer phenomena. Now, I'm not sure where the term comes from, but my colleagues are fairly certain that it... To summarize, the quality of the videos dropped because the reviewer was distracted and isolated from the outside world.
Wait, what?
We all remember Unravel.
This would also be the end of collaborations with other people, making him even more isolated, which made the views dwindle. At this point, people started to talk less about Josh reviews, and it seemed as if the views were going to hit sub-million by the Dark Side Detective review. Things were not looking good for the channel, and Josh knew this. How could he fix the downward slope on the views? After careful thought and deliberation, one idea stuck. This would be the start of a new leaf, one that you may recognize and remember, with a bittersweet tone. This time period would range all the way to April 26th of 2019. This was the period of live Josh reviews, a show where he would play games and do other things such as podcasts, explore Discord channels about Flat Earth, and even the famous game where the term bunny death came from.
That way YouTube will promote my videos.
Studies show only about 0.04% of people remember this phrase, and for good reason. The reviews came crashing in quickly, and they stung like a bullet. Hundreds of thousands of people boycotted the channel after the unexpected transition, and even bigger review companies such as GameSpot, IGN, and Linus Tech Tips reviewed the stream and called it less than desirable and an unnecessary change of formula. Unfortunately, none of the emails were able to be recovered after a certain event that we'll talk about later in the video. One notable video from this era would have to be the Yeetcast podcast, which was a podcast where people had no idea what they were doing. It was the first ever instance of Josh Reviews ever doing a swore. After interviewing the Yeetcast official Twitter account, they said, Josh later told us that his grandma actually said she listened to the podcast, so that was something. How could he recover from this? First the views dropped into the hundreds of thousands, now his grandma heard him do a swore. Everything was looking like the transition was a failure. But even so, he continued to do live streams for another month, all the way into May, in which the final stream occurred. During this time, there weren't only live streams, however. Videos during this time were not as successful as Josh Reviews, but they didn't do too bad either. One of these was Super Burner World Speedruns, which was a very hot political topic inside the community, which shortened to 2. People who liked the transition, which was about 5%, and the rest who hated it. If unison were to be reached, there would have to be some middle ground reached, where everyone was happy with the change. What he did to follow through on this, you would not expect. Tosh.0 took a minute to figure out how to appease both groups of people, and he eventually came up with it. Starting on April 13th, garbage 30-second meme videos were being constructed. These videos were tested once before in the form of Bio Assignment Finals, which flopped so hard that it actually got 0 views, mainly because it was blocked worldwide, but it also sucked. After this definitive test, it was clear that these videos shouldn't be made. But nonetheless, the videos were made. Some titles you may know from this era are Simp Song Nightcore LOL and CEO of Racism. Both of these videos made the communities agree on something. These videos were garbage. Which was also the time that the channel went from Josh Reviews to Tosh Gaming and more. Let's cut to Gia Salier in the field right now, where he's in the middle of a park asking people their opinion on those videos. Thanks, Yvonne. I'm Gia Salier here in the field, getting some live interviews with people who have heard of Josh Reviews. Now, I'm not sure if anyone even remembers this name, but let's see if we can get anyone who does. Ah, excuse me, sir.
What?
Do you know Josh Reviews?
Yes, I've heard of it.
What do you remember about Josh Reviews?
Not much. It's not too good.
Well, what video specifically did you not like that much?
Okay, listen, I really gotta get like going now.
It's safe to say I have some. Hey,
No,
hey!
I
Get back here.
gotta.
I knew this would happen. To summarize, this era, things weren't looking too good again. One flop after another had led to a steady downfall of the channel. It was clear what needed to be done. This one will shock you. After 1 month of silence, people had thought that he had quit the site, which most celebrated, but some wondered what was happening. After we eventually figured it out, the world was shook, mainly because of the meteor that had landed at the time, but still, everyone was very surprised. On July 12, 2020, a new Josh Reviews was launched, and this one wasn't half bad. It was good enough to garner 4.2 million views in about 2 days. And a month later, on August 2nd, 2020, another one was made, also getting millions of views. These reviews were the Bioshock Infinite review and the Dance of Fire and Ice review, which both blew up massively. The Bioshock review was the first of the reviews to be reviewed by another famous reviewer and speedrunner, Iron Ninja 1116, who dubbed it
Pretty good.
The second review came naturally after the first of the revival era blew up. However, the second review was no traditional one. Josh combined both his meme videos with his reviews, making 30-second Josh reviews, with half of it being black screen. Fans were furious, like we're talking mad. It was bad, they went bonkers. I think a few may have actually gotten mad from how mad they were. There was so much mold. Great Clips had to file for bankruptcy because nobody had any hair left to cut. Countless crowds coped continuously and countless caudicity from cope. It was bad. The creation of XX Cope Master 69420 XX had to be done, or else the world's population may have dwindled to the thousands. People hated it so much. There were thousands of people who tried to cancel Tosh.0 on Twitter. Luckily for Josh, he developed a few brain cells and deleted Twitter. Even so, people in the comment section were furious, such as lines as, "You scammed us," such barbaric language. After this backlash, no more reviews will have been made after this point. After all the bombardment by fans, Josh vowed to get back at the community for telling him cope millions of times. What he decided to do will shock you.
A paddle wheel is nothing but a never-ending series of levers.
On August 21st, the Henry Stickmin speedrun was made, which was a direct attempt to anger the people that were angry about the Josh Reviews, and as such, the feedback on it was mediocre at best. Everyone thought another review would come out, but no such thing happened. From August 21st, 2020 to August 26th of 2021, one whole year, no content about Josh Reviews would ever be made. All the videos from this era were poorly edited memes, which became unfunny after about 2 weeks. Even so, the reception was starting to get a little better after people accepted that he was no longer a reviewer.
Don't care. Still don't care.
But then, on September 12th, 2021, history would be made in the form of a reaction to a reaction of his former review.
What?
Everyone was stoked yet confused. Why was he doing this now, a year later after all this time?
Oh, look at that.
What events must have happened for this to even have been made? One can only assume at this point. Do you have it? Oh, it's you. Were you followed? Come on inside. Now, I've been looking for Josh for months. Every minute of my days has been spent looking for him. I can't find him. But until today, I finally found it. The key to all of this. Sorry about the mess. I've been very busy. Now, if we just type in the encryption password. We're in. There it is. The new Josh reviews. Oh my god, that's all there. Infinite Earth, Fortnite. We have to hide this. I don't want anyone seeing this. Take this card and run far away. Get as far away from here from possible. They're here. Run!